Until August 2020, students were not allowed to work in Russia. But the State Duma, which is the Russian parliament, passed a law that allowed all students with student visas to be able to gain employment in Russia. Because the job market has not matured enough, students have not actually found the jobs that work for them really well in Russia. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the most popular job options in Russia, together with their pay plus advantages and disadvantages. I must warn you that it's very difficult to take the available job options and pay your tuition fee. If you're planning to come to Russia in order to work and pay your tuition fee, that can be very difficult for you because the job options pay less than $1,000 a month, and you will not be able to work and comfortably pay for your tuition fee at first when you first arrive. So you first have to depend on your parents for quite some time, and after that you can break a little bit independent and start maybe getting enough money to do your things yourself. Alright, so let's dive into the popular job options. Number one is teaching. If you actually know English language and you know a little bit of Russian language, you can be able to teach English in Russia here, because most Russians are trying to learn English language, because when they travel out, the most popular language in the world right now for at least European countries and other Western countries is English language. So most Russians are trying to learn English language. So you can either teach physically at an education center, or you can go to the homes of these Russians who want private tutors and teach them there. But I have a roommate who actually teaches online, and he makes a lot of money. The average pay for teachers, English teachers in Russia here right now is about 800 rubles per hour. To give you a little reference, $1 is 89 rubles, so you can do the calculations yourself. The advantage of teaching is that you can choose your working hours. You can choose to work maybe in the evenings after school or even at night, and you can teach online, which is wonderful because you don't have to stress yourself going out to go work. The disadvantage is that you have to know a little bit of Russian to be able to teach English, and you have to make sure that your students are actually improving. The number two job is deliveries. If you don't mind taking deliveries from companies to houses, or from companies to persons, or from person to person, you can work as a delivery boy or as a delivery girl. This is a very popular job option here in Russia. I have a friend who is working with Camel Cat right now in another city in Astrakhan, and he's making very good money. So if you don't mind making deliveries, the problem is that the weather in Russia is very harsh. That means summers are extremely hot and winters are extremely cold. But if you don't mind working outside in that very cold weather, then you can actually work in deliveries. You can deliver packages for companies, you deliver packages for shops, you can deliver packages from person to person. And the advantage of this is that, of course, they're not going to give you packages that are contraband delivered, because these are big and renowned companies that have been working in Russia for a very long time. The advantage of this, again, another advantage is this, that of course you choose your working hours and they pay very high for every delivery that you make successfully. The disadvantage of this is you need to have at least a bicycle, or at least a bike, or to have a car to be able to go around the city to deliver things. Or if you don't mind getting into their driving school, to acquire your driver's license, most companies provide cars that if you have a driver's license, you can be able to drive around for the company. But we'll get into that on another video. Delivery companies usually pay from 250 rubles to 500 rubles per delivery. Again, $1 is about 89 rubles. Do the calculation yourself. Another job is the restaurants. Many students, hundreds of foreign students presently in Russia, are working in restaurants as waiters, they are working as cooks assistants, they have a lot of jobs in the restaurants, because restaurants are like the starting place for a lot of people, because if you are working as a cook assistant, you really don't even need a lot of Russian language to actually work there, because the cook can just demonstrate. For example, he can ask you to peel potatoes, and that is probably what you're going to do for the whole day. And then when you get to know a little bit of Russian, you promote yourself from that position to a waiter, where you get to take orders from the Russians. And then the advantage of this is you get a lot of money comparable to other jobs, because you get paid up to 2,000 to 4,000 rubles a day, which is good money. And the disadvantage is that you work for a very long time. You work for up to from 12 to 14 hours every day, and that can be very draining for a lot of people. Apart from that, sometimes you get to interact with customers that are just very annoying, and you understand. So, but generally, restaurant jobs are a starting place for a lot of foreign students. Another advantage is that you get to learn how to cook Russian dishes, and you get to get free food when you are on duty. While you are at work, you get to eat some of the food that has been cooked from the restaurant, so you don't have to really worry about your feeding because it has already been taken care of. You also get to learn a little bit of Russian language because you're interacting with the Russians and you're learning new phrases, you're making new friends, and of course, that is a very good environment for socialization here in Russia. Another job option is car wash. You can work at the car wash. They usually call them aftermarkets, where basically it's as easy as it sounds. Customers bring cars and you wash them and they pay you. Actually, they pay the owner of the car wash, and the owner of the car wash gives you 50%. They earn anywhere from 400 to 500 rubles per car that they wash. You get to wash the car. Everything is provided, and if you can learn for at least a week, after that you'll be making at least 2,000 or 3,000 rubles per day, depending on how many hours you work. But the car wash is a starting place for a lot of people, and the advantage of this is you get to also meet a lot of people, you get to practice your Russian language, you get to make very good money because 500 rubles per car, that is good money here in Russia. The disadvantage is that, of course, cars are property. Sometimes some things miss and you are accused because you're the person that handled the car. And the weather is usually very cold, and the water at the car wash is not warm water. So, like, it gets freezing when you are working at the car wash, especially in times of winter, in winter and all of that. So, but it's a good place to start, especially in summer. You can work there either day shift or you can work night shift because you're a student. If you can afford to, if you can be able to work night shift and still go to school, then of course many people are already doing that here. So the last one we have for you today is to work as a DJ at the club. There are a lot of clubs here in Russia because Russians usually love partying, and when they see Africans, because of the culture, they think, of course, this guy is going to be a valuable addition to the club. So if you have DJ skills, like if you're able to mix music, most Russians will employ you. Many Russian owners of clubs will employ you to actually work as a DJ in their clubs, basically. So the advantage is that, of course, they pay you very highly, because I know DJs that are making up to 5,000 rubles a day, and that is minimal. You get tips from a lot of the customers that come. You get free drinks, you get a lot of things, you meet a lot of people and all of that. The disadvantage is that most DJ jobs are at night, so you get to lose a lot of sleep working at DJ clubs. You also get exposed to illegal activities, like sometimes narcotics and other people, like fights and all of that, So, but of course, you get paid very good money and you get to meet a lot of people, so it's not very bad. So this is the part 1 of the video of the jobs you can work in Russia. In the part 2, I'm going to be diving deeper into more jobs that you can be able to take as a student here in Russia that will be able to get you set up for at least some time before you actually find something reasonable to do. So thanks a lot for watching today's video. Amarachi couldn't be here because she's busy. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.